the first TV movie of Spongebob, Atlantis, Squarepantis. So this TV movie was made in season 5. This is a TV movie was episode 92. It's up here. Episode 92. So sorry guys if you see this broken because it actually fell down when I was trying to bring this downstairs. Yeah. So this is episode 92 and this is from season 5. And this is what people call as one of the worst or absolute worst episodes of SpongeBob. And I agree or disagree. Agree because sometimes the musical numbers can kind of get annoying or boring. And I can disagree because there are some parts where it just feels decent. And overall I think the TV movie is just harmless. It's not like the other episodes like the Splinter or Truth or Square where it's just outright terrible. This one's just decent. Now, okay, after minutes of nothing, let's start on with talking about the TV movie. So this episode starts out. Okay, I will not review the patchy segments because I might do it in a separate video, or you know what, I'll do this after I'm done with talking about the SpongeBob stuff. Let's go with the SpongeBob stuff. So the episode starts off with SpongeBob Patrick blowing a bubble, and yeah, Patrick blames the camera for popping the bubble. And next it's actually not the camera's fault, it's because it's the nature of the bubbles. And next decided to sing a song about bubbles. And I do like this musical number, and personally I think this is a lot better than the other musical numbers in the special. Anyways, yeah, this is the musical number. And next the musical number stops, and next one Patrick is trapped in a bubble, and next they enter a cave, and next a satellite pops the bubble, and next Patrick and SpongeBob find a big amulet which they call which at the back says Pantis, and Antis. And next Patrick thinks it's actually not one of SpongeBob's ancestors and just call it Squarepantis. It's sort of like a big fourth wall to the audience because the episode's actually called Atlantis Squarepantis. Yeah. So then Patrick puts the amulet on SpongeBob's ear, and next SpongeBob falls down, and next I had to take it to the Bikini Bottom Museum. And we cut to Mr. Krabs telling the old lady to pay because he's a greedy man. And next actually figure out it's actually Tuesday, and yeah, it's free day in the museum. But then Mr. Krabs says and tells her it's actually Monday. And next the old lady decided to pay Mr. Krabs, and next Mr. Krabs just laughed while SpongeBob Patrick entered the museum without even saying hi to Mr. Krabs. And then the old lady tells some of the guards that about Mr. Krabs, about paying Mr. Krabs the money, which he escapes and next goes inside the museum. And next we cut to Squidward, who's doing art till SpongeBob Patrick bumped to him, and next calls them idiots. But the next Squidward's shocked that SpongeBob Patrick have the other half of the Antis, and the next he thought that they're stealing it. And actually, reality, they're actually bringing it to the Bikini Bottom Museum. And next, it's actually figured out it's actually the other half of the amulet that's left in the museum. And next, Mr. Krabs comes, and next Cooper explains everyone about Atlantis. And next, Spong Patrick are shocked at the old silly bubble, and Cooper calls them it's just a bubble. It's just a painting your necklace. And next Sandy just comes randomly out of nowhere. And next says hey guys, and next they're talking about, and Sandy's actually impressed in going to Atlantis. So Scoober tells Mr. Krabs about Atlantis having treasure, and next Mr. Krabs' eyes just becomes big because he's excited about this. And next Scoober tries to put the other piece of the amulet into the other piece, which glows, and next a big bus comes, and next yeah, the door opens, and next the gang are shocked. Next half of the episodes, SpongeBob and the gang going inside the Atlantean bus, which is actually my 3D animation, I think, yeah, because the bus design in the inside looks kind of like 3D for me. And next And next, a robot comes and next tells them that they don't need to drive, they just have to relax. And next, is ticklish, is being tickled by some robot hands. And next, actually revealed that they have to sing. And next, that he can't move. And next, everyone's like angry. And next, Mr. Krabs and everyone pushes the bus. And next, Mr. Krabs can't find a gas tank and where to put the gas. And it's actually revealed that we don't actually need gas. You actually have to sing. So Spongebob starts to sing, but it's actually first off key. And next, he sings. And next, he sings about random stuff. And next, Mr. Krabs butts into the song. And next, Sandy butts in. And next, Squidward butts in and sings his own classical music. And next, Patrick butts in and he jokes. And then Patrick thinks he has something to sing, but actually he doesn't know to sing. And then he says, I'm Patrick. And next, the bus falls down. And next, they fall to Atlantis. And next, Squidward comments on that when Patrick destroyed a topiary garden. And next, they decide to walk. And next, they find the Lord Royal Highness's big palace. And next, the Lord Royal Highness comes. And next, he stumbles upon like some slapstick. And next, introduces himself as LRH, Lord Royal Highness. And next, Spongebob introduces himself as, my friends call me Spongebob. And next, they decide to go inside the place. And it's actually revealed that this guy was actually voiced by David Bowie, a musician. So yeah, rest in peace. Anyways, yeah, they go on and LRH tours them. And next, they go to a place, like a vault-like thing, full of money. And this is something I forgot to mention, that Plankton actually appears in this episode. And he's actually stuck in one of the, in the car, like there's like a side right here, and next, right there. And that's where Plankton is. And next, Plankton escapes to the hole at the back of the bus. And next, he decides to go inside Atlantis, and finds a hall of weapons. And next, he sings a song about weapons. Yeah, that's a song. And next, we cut to Mr. Krabs in the game. And next, Mr. Krabs sings about money again. And he doesn't want to go with the toy because he wants to stay there with his love alert money. And next, they go to the next place, that being a science lab, which one machine is actually turns everything like this to ice cream. Yeah, it turns things to ice cream. Which Spongebob and Patrick are impressed, and next they taste the ice cream and it tastes delicious. And next, there's another one where they test a machine, and next it transports them inside like they're playing a game, which Spongebob vanishes inside the game, and Patrick and Squidward also go inside there too, and Sandy also goes in there too, and Sandy decides to sing a song about fighting off. And we cut to her wants to stay there, while three escape the science lab. So LRH still tours Spongebob, Patrick, and Squidward to the next place, and that is a art place or art museum like that. Yeah. As you can see what I'm talking about here, it sounds like Willy Wonka all over again. Now, I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is way better than this TV movie, in my opinion. But this one's still pretty decent. So Squidward goes in, it's like saying that this looks like a living painting, and LRH touches him in a painting, and actually you can actually stay in a painting. It's like you can actually stay inside the painting. So Squidward's like to go inside and have fun and sing a song about it. And the next part is that Squidward had to stay there while Spongebob and Patrick go there to the bubble place. Sorry for your noise in the background, guys. I'll probably put this in the description about the car noises. Yeah. And the next place they're going to is the place where Spongebob and Patrick want to go the entire time. While LRH describes the origin of this bubble, Spongebob and Patrick are impressed with this bubble because it's the oldest living bubble ever. And the next while LRH decides to leave down there, they take a picture, but the next they popped it, and they don't. And they're actually nervous to tell them about that. We cut to Cut to our game. Our other three, Spongebob, Squidward, Sandy, Mr. Krabs, they're in the dinner table, while LRH is like saying some stuff. Well, Spongebob should appear, and next they tell them that they got back to the Bikini Bottom, and next dinner was tell was Squidward comes why they want to leave a place like Atlantis, and SpongeBob's like Gary missed me, but in reality, saying Gary's throwing a party while SpongeBob's there in Atlantis. And next SpongeBob Patrick spills the beans about them popping the most oldest bubble ever. And the gang gets shocked, and it's actually revealed that that's not actually those bubbles. That's like a bubble for tourists. And it's actually revealed that LRH actually has the bubble the entire time, which Patrick spots, and they start an action scene. And this is actually one of the best moments in this episode, the action scene. Sandy uses SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs as weapons. Oh, if you're wondering what happened to Plankton, well, guess what? He has a tank at the end of the episode, and he's about to fire them, but the next is actually with ice cream, so yeah. And next, Lord World Highness says that this talking like speck should be the new treasure of Atlantis. So, Plankton angrily comments that no flash photography is up there in the glass. Well, everyone still flash photography. I meant the Atlanteans. While LRH lets Patrick and the gang go back to the bus, he orders one of the Atlanteans to toss down the amulet, and in the trash can. And next, the guys leave, and next they sing the last song of the episode. And to admit, this is the best musical number of the whole episode. And next, Patrick and Mr. Krabs are crying while Squidward's frustrated, and he's like, well, something. So they go back to Bikini Bottom, and they're back to their own place in town. So we go with Patchy's segments. Now Patchy's pretty okay in this TV movie. I mean, his plot is like really weird. Same as how I describe this TV movie, weird. Yeah, that's only one way I could describe this one, weird. The songs are weird, the ideas are a little bit strange, and yeah, some parts feel strange. The entire episode's more like a strange episode. And next we cut. Sorry if you know what I was saying about the Patchy segments. Okay, so the story of Patchy is about Patchy gets stuck in traffic, and next finds out that Encino is actually small now, and it's lost forever. It's just kind of like the lost city of Atlantis, that sort of like myth thing. Yeah. So Patchy's sad about this, and next someone tells everyone or the viewers about the special, and next at the end of the special, he tells everyone that was actually good kids, and he hallucinates about this, and next this musical number in this one. And the next one is that, and the next part is that it's actually revealed that aliens have shrunken Elcino, and the aliens press a button, and next, everything's back to normal. And next, Patchy's back at his home, till Potty actually is big and squashes his face, yeah. So that's the end of the segments. So, yeah, I'll count how many musical numbers are in special. For Patchy segments is 1. For the first one, for the SpongeBob one is, for the Patchy one, it's only 1. As I was saying with the musical numbers, the Patchy one segments have only 1. SpongeBob segments, for the beginning song, it's 2. Or Mr. Krabs song, the second song is 3. Mr. Krabs song is 4. Funky song is 5. Sandy song is 6. Squidward song is 7. The ending song is 8. So yeah, there's 8 musical numbers in this episode. Really, guys? Man, that's so many musical numbers. I mean, the actors are probably tired of this. And I actually watched a video on Pie Guy Rules, and we actually really hate this episode, and yeah, he actually added a song version of this episode while reviewing this one. And there's also, according to the writers of SpongeBob, that they hate this idea of making this one in the TV movie. They shouldn't just make this a regular episode. They did this because of Nickelodeon. So guys, that's a little bit trivia for Atlantis Squarepantis. Hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah. please like and subscribe, and yeah, see you next time.